Hi, everybody, and welcome to Chair Yoga. Today's practice is going to center a little bit around the moon. The full moon just happens to coincide with this class. We've enjoyed a full moon experience the last couple nights, and so I'm just going to start with a little reflection about that before we get started with our asana and our movement. And just FYI, I intend to add a little more time to our meditation experience today. So we have an opportunity to incorporate a full moon meditation, maybe a few more minutes, a little bit longer at the end of class, just so you know. I make a point every time that it is the full moon, I make a point to look at it, to say, oh, Saturday night, this is the full moon, so get myself outside and look at it and be aware of it. And although I was just pondering as I did that on Saturday night, I don't know really what's supposed to happen. Like, what am I here for? Wonder why the full moon draws me in and has for years, but I can't really put words to it. I can't really say, and I never really looked into it, to be honest with you, even though many yoga traditions, many classes that one might experience almost follows the moon cycle in terms of the way they teach and the practices. So it's certainly prominent in this tradition of yoga, but I just had never really looked into it much. And I still haven't, so I can't give you like, oh yeah, and so then I spent the weekend really studying it. No, I didn't. But I pondered it and I came up with some things about, well, what does it mean to me? And so I'll share that with you. Tonight was a full moon, I wrote in my journal. I'm drawn to it. I want to gaze up at it, but I never really know why. This is what I thought. It's complete. It's in its fullness. Or it's like it's telling us that we are in our fullness of being. Maybe that's what it represents to us. It's whole. We are whole. Those were the kinds of things that came to me. And then, much to my delight, the Sunday morning class that I always take on Zoom for myself was dedicated to the full moon. And she came, the teacher there, wonderful, lovely lady, gave us a full moon meditation that was just gorgeous. And I wrote down what she said. And we're going to use that. She was referring to a book. I wish I knew it. I can't tell you. That she uses to guide her through some of these, particular themes. And this was her theme for the class, or I shouldn't say that, her intention for our class as a whole. And it was these beautiful words. I received the vibration of peace and bliss. I bathe in the luminescence of the moon, allowing it to infuse every cell of my being with the healing nectar of infinite joy, purity, and divine nurturance. And she introduced a mantra, which is one of the bija, one of the bija mantras, which doesn't mean much to many people, but it's one of the seed sounds, which is like the sounds of the universe. And there's several of them. And this one, Shreem, Shreem, that's the way it's pronounced. I'm not sure if that's how it's spelled, but that is the way it is pronounced, Shreem. Does resonate with me. I've used it in a number of classes that I was given, not a class that I taught, but that I was receiving that class, and it was used in that class, in many classes, Shreem. And this is tied to the moon. Shreem relates to the moon and is connected to the goddess Lakshmi, who is the goddess of abundance. This mantra helps us confirm abundance in our life and the healing nectar of infinite joy. How's that for a connection? So when we go through our meditation, when I bring you into our meditation at the end of class, I'm going to suggest that you use, and then I'll just kind of introduce it, that we're using Shreem as a way of centering ourselves in our points of meditation. So it's just going to be a way of introducing that mantra, and its power to help us confirm abundance in our life and the healing nectar of infinite joy. So it's a little glimpse, I guess, at the beauty of full moon time of our, in our year, in this month. And it's a glimpse of what that means to us energetically and in the tradition of yoga. So we're going to begin standing up. So I'll join you. I got my chair placed in a way that supports a standing position. So I'm going to ask you to do the same, however it is, however that works best for you. It doesn't have to be the way I'm doing it, but position yourself near your chair so you've got all kinds of support for this. So starting with our mountain pose, I want you to just make sure your feet are parallel to each other, that you're fussy about that they're even. I think I might have shared with you something. I noticed recently that I step a little bit further forward with my right foot, just a little bit, and I hardly notice it, and I never corrected it until recently. So just make sure they're even and that you can feel the body weight distributed in the soles of your feet equally. Remember not to lock your knees, just give a soft micro bend. It feels nice and strong in your legs, nice and straight, but there is a micro bend in the knee. Let's pull the belly in so we feel the engagement of the abdominal wall to help stabilize the low back. And palms are going to face forward now in our traditional mountain poses. We now begin our transition into yoga by connecting to the breath. So just let that breath be part of your awareness, however that is. Maybe you take a big cleansing breath to get started. So your practice, your way of connecting to your experience of breath now. Standing tall in the mountain pose, one of the most foundational poses in yoga. Feel the strength of your legs. Feel your body weight into your bones. Breathe a full breath in, followed by a full breath out. We're going to try to breathe in and out through the nose as much as possible. So just throw that out there, try to remind you from time to time. Breathe the way your body needs to breathe. But when you can choose, when you can participate fully in the breath, try nostril breathing whenever it works well for you. Feel the strength of your legs, feel the grounding of your feet. We're connecting to Mother Earth. We're really aware of our connection to the earth, Gaia. There's this image I love to reflect on, and that is that Gaia is the goddess that's holding you up so that your feet are resting right in the hands of that loving mother energy. Let's sync up our breath. Inhale, palms together overhead. Exhale, bow into your own heart. Inhale up and exhale all the way around. Let's start moving now. We're going to just move the arms up and down through the shoulder sockets. I noticed when I was practicing earlier this morning to kind of warm myself up that I found myself sort of bending my knees as I was moving through my legs. I'm going to just encourage you to just trust your body's movement. If you find yourself doing something like that, a little rocking action, a little, just some sway or something that shows up in your body just seems natural to you, just go with it. Don't think you've got to correct it or that there's some problem there. Just go with what your body seems to be wanting to do. Arms up and down as straight as they can be, trying to extend the arms fully with as little bend in the elbow as possible. This is going to warm up the body. And we got to find our fullness of breath. Inhale is the upswing. Exhale is bringing the arms down. Let's find that vinyasa. Exhale down. Inhale comes up. And let's do two more. We'll meet with arms down and we'll just collect ourselves back in our mountain pose. Let's get the arms moving now in more of the horizontal fashion. So extend your arms out like a T, but this is going to introduce some movement for the neck, for the benefit of the neck. So extend out with that T. And then remember this one where you're creating sort of a right angle. Both arms are shaped the very same, one in front of your body and one behind. So the back hand, you're on the back of the hand, it's pressing into your body wherever it lands. Front arm is just kind of resting where it is. You're going to turn your head to the front arm as you press into the back hand. Find your breath, don't lock your knees. Try to keep your head level. We're really working on what's a neutral position for our head. So using maybe the chin and jaw as parallel to the floor, noticing always, the movement of your head through your ears. You're just aware of when you move your head, where are my ears facing? Good, let's come out of that, extend back to a T, and then we're going to just reshape the body just like we did, only the other side. So right angle with our arms, we're pressing that backhand into the body, and we turn our head toward that front arm, in the direction of the front arm. Press your hands, feel how it pulls your shoulder back. Breathe in and breathe out, don't lock the knees. And be real curious, stay right in the sensation you're experiencing. Don't bother to look at the screen and think, make sure you're not going to miss something. You're inside your body. You stay right there. Let your body guide you. We're going to try it the same thing on the other side. Just do it again. Just do it again. A repeat of the very same thing. Get curious. We're looking for sensation. We want to find the full range of movement. We're going to go right to the full range of our ability to move our head right now. Stretching the neck, breathing in, breathing out, and our breath is our teacher. If there's a nice smooth breath, we're working comfortably within our body's range. When it's choppy and difficult, that tells us we need to make an adjustment. One more time on the other side. Press into that back hand. Soft bend of the knees. Get curious now. Work your shoulder. Breathe all the way out. Let's get really good at that. Exhale is complete. And back to a neutral position. Let's get our hands in, our hands up to the shoulders. I always call these the chicken wings. I want you to start circling those chicken wing arms. So just find a circular movement. And when your elbows lift up, see if you can get your fingertips to reach back towards your shoulder blades, getting your arms as close to your head and close to your ears as you can. Soft bend of the knee, pull belly in. So you feel the mountain pose within this. And when we come back to the chicken wings, can you change the direction of the circle that you drew? Find a full breath cycle now. This is so easy to just sort of pant, wait it out, breathe real shallow. See if you can deepen the breath. Elbows up again, trying to reach back behind us, reaching for our shoulder blades. Arms are as close, our upper arms are as close to the head and ears as possible. Find your mountain pose in here. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's come back with our arms up overhead, palms are together. We're syncing up the breath as we exhale now, as bowing into our heart. Inhale back up. Exhale, go all the way around. And I want you to just change that. It's kind of the same shape of your arm, but just make it a swinging action where you just change which arm is in front. And back to a neutral position. This is a new one. I don't remember ever teaching this, but I want to get into our hands, the joints of our hands. So we're going to make a fist. Inhale, sort of pull back like you're doing a bicep curl almost. So the inhale looks like that. Exhale, we just release the hands and let them swing back. Fist, so we're really into the joints of our hands. Release that and swing on back. That's all there is to it. Inhale and exhale. Let's get our head neutral. Find a drishti, find a place to focus your gaze. And I just notice again, I seem to bend my knees a little bit with this. It just feels natural. So, if that kind of thing shows up for you, you can honor that. Let's keep our arms real close to the side body. Fists. Beautiful. And come back to neutral. We're going to take a wider stance now. I think I might move my chair just a smidge. We're going to take a wider stance. Feet are parallel to each other. And let's try some side bends or side stretches. So we're going to just glide down our leg and use your ear, make sure you're kind of aware of how Your head is turning, and I'm just referencing my ear. I like to reference it different ways. Like right now, it's to the floor. Sometimes when I've got an arm overhead, I'm referencing that way. So we'll get to that, but I just wanted to point that out. So just sliding down, there's the stop sign, right? I'm found mine. Let's get that top shoulder back a little bit. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Feel your feet to the ground. Strength of your legs. Bring yourself back up to neutral. Glide down the other way. Finding that stop sign, my full range of movement. Breathe in and breathe out. We're going to do it again. This time we're going to add the upper arm as part of the movement, part of the stretch. That's going to deepen that side bend for us. So getting that top arm, palm of the hand is facing the floor. Arm is trying to stretch over the ear. So that'll also be a point of recognition in your body about range of movement. Maybe you can't get your arm pulled back that far. Maybe you feel like you're more or less crossing past your face. Okay, that's where you are. But we'll work on that. We're going to keep working on finding that range of movement through the arm and shoulder past the ear. So this is what I was talking about. Like, I'll be real aware of that top ear and how it's facing the arm that's coming past it. Exhale completely. Use that top arm to help swing you up. And we'll reset for the other side. Gliding down. Arm extended past the ear. There's still a mountain inside of here, so see what you can stabilize in your body. Feel your feet. Be sure to exhale completely. Get back to the fullness of your breath. In and out. In and out. Again, we're going to use that top arm to bring us all the way up. Take a little pause. Let's keep our feet in the wider angle. We're going to use this now as the swinging in the arms. And notice when you swing your arms, you're going to lift one foot up off the floor. So you swing to one direction. I want you to get that heel up. I should say just the heel, it's not the whole foot. But the heel pops up side to side. Let your head just move with the flow. Just play that by ear. Just move with the flow. You keep your head still and you let your arms move because that's a better option for you, then that's what you'll do. If it's comfortable and natural for you to move your head with a flowing movement, that's good too. Feeling that fluid nature of our body. Good, let's come back to our neutral position. Maybe bring your feet a little closer together. Let's do our hula hoop now. I want to just circle the pelvis. So really get your pelvis to circle around like you were doing a hula hoop. Stay with the same circle till you really get it, really get that rhythm of that pattern of movement. You feel like you've really explored the full range of movement in your pelvis going in this direction. And then we're going to change the direction. Then we got to get used to the new way. How you shift your body weight into the other, the legs, the knees, the ankles. You feel that differently when you change the direction of the circle. Really emphasizing the movement in the pelvis. Good. And let's come back to neutral. I'm going to angle myself a little bit. You shouldn't have to change anything at all. Hands are going to come down to your right on top of the knees. You're not on your kneecaps, but you're on the part of your thighs that's just right near the knees. So you're right down there, and I'm holding on. I'm really gripping into that area. Straight arms. I'm creating a bracket with my arm. This is how we can do a cat and cow right here. It's a tilt and tuck of the pelvis. So a straight gaze, straight out. You don't need to look at the screen. You're just going to start moving in from a tuck and a tilt of your pelvis. So moving again, like we were in our hula hoop, our focus was on moving the pelvis. We're doing the same thing here, but boy, you can feel it in your back and in your spine, just like the cow and cat that we do from a seated position. Nice strong brackets with your arms. Stay with it now. Exaggerate the movement of the pelvis, tucking and tilting. Feel your body weight in your feet so that there's no pressure in your knees. If you're feeling it in your knees, you need to make an adjustment. There should be no pressure in your knees. Get your body weight back. You need to shove your butt back a little bit so it's away from the knees. And if you can't find a place that it works, then don't do this and just wait me out, because I don't want you to hurt your knees. Let's stop the movement now and just glide ourselves down to a full fold. Just glide your hands down, keep your eyes wide open, let your head hang, look down and underneath yourself. Deepen the breath here, big breaths, loud. Make your exhale a sound of ah, a release. Let's get our hands to our shins. We're below the knees and we're going to lift up about halfway. Take a breath. Let's jump our hands up the legs almost to the very crease of the legs and the hips and come all the way up. Take a pause now in your mountain pose. We're going to bring our feet together when you're ready. Don't rush it. I'm just setting up. Feet are together, so this is a little more of a balance challenge. Again, we're squatting a little bit, bringing our hands down and creating that bracket. And this is the circular knees. This is a range of movement the knees don't often get. And it's into the feet and into the ankles as well. So lots of the joints, the lower body joints here are getting our full loving awareness. So stay with the same circular movement that you started with. Focus your gaze, knowing, I'm just appreciating the fact that when your feet are together, it requires more balance, more awareness. Now let's change the direction of the circle. Take your time. Move in the other direction now, circling around. That's nice bracket of the arm support. And your hands kind of really holding on to your knees. It's a safety measure. It's really nice and comforting for your knees. Your knees know that this is all good. We're working within a safe range. Look at those hands that are guiding me. Let's come back up. We're going to keep our legs together all the way up. Palms come together overhead. I'll step back a little bit so maybe you can see I got palms together overhead. I'm going to bring my hands into the temple mudra so you've got your index fingers extended, but the other hands are, their other fingers are clasped. This is another opportunity for a little side bend. Feel how your ears are protected around with your arms around them. And when you do that, it's a nice stabilizing effect for your neck. We're just going to kind of take our time with it, moving from one side to the other, finding the fullness of our breath. We'll do one more on each side. Extend those arms with as little bend in the elbow as you can. I've got my hands really clasped. There's quite a strength to that. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's come all the way up. Inhale with me. Look up if you can. Exhale, heart. Inhale, back up. Exhale, go all the way around. Let's come to a mountain pose. So we've got our feet about hips distance apart. I'm right by the chair in case I need it. We're going to start marching a little bit, lifting up bent knees. So there's the chair if you need it. If you want to try something else, a little more balance challenge, bring your hands to your waist or however it is you can create a balance challenge for yourself. But the chair right there, don't hesitate to use it. High knees, a march. Flex the feet as they come up. Now, bent knee up. Again, use the chair if that's helpful. And this time, I often have us do this seated and we've got our hands underneath our thigh. This is much more challenging. So now we're circling around, and I'm actually trying to get a little movement of that shin bone. So circling the foot as it's extended away from the body. I find this very challenging. Both feet to the floor. And let's get the other side. High knee up. And we're circling the foot and circling the lower leg. Use the chair for support. That's a better option for you. Find a drishti. Finding a focal point with your eyes is super helpful. Get back to your breath now. Find it. Find your breath. Both feet to the floor. Back to mountain. Turn towards your chair if it's close by. Let's try our toe balance. I want you to get high on your toes and drop your heels. And then we can play with that. Different ways we can do toe balances. Try it more like a squat. So you're getting your knees bent and you come into a squatting kind of pose. Maybe you try to lift and hold. You can drop them and just keep moving through that. Try various ways that seem to interest you here. Hands to the prayer position, perhaps, for a final hurrah. Drop the heels, bring yourself back upright. Let's keep our hands together as we bring ourselves back to mountain. Catch up with your breath. Inhale with me. Exhale, bow into your heart. Inhale up, exhale all the way around. Let's turn our chair so we have the chair seat facing us. And let's try our final pose in our standing position is going to be downward dog. So hands are on the chair and we're stretching out a long spine in our downward dog. Feet are parallel to each other. Feel your body weight in your feet now. Feel Mother Earth holding you, supporting you as you feel the grounding and strength of your legs and ankles. Deepen the breath, tuck your chin in towards your throat a bit. Feel your arms glide past your ears, pull back through the buttocks. Deepen the breath. You want to feel that breath moving through the length of your spine. Ideally, the same distance between your hands is what's between your feet. See if you can match that up. Deepen the breath one more time. Start walking slowly towards your chair. Round your back body, round it into the C-shaped curve. Let the chin tag down towards your chest bone and come up very slowly, one vertebrae at a time. And let's find our mountain pose right where we are. Catch up with your breathing. When you're ready, only when you're ready, so take your time, we're going to find our way to a seated posture, with our block. So feel your feet to the earth and feel your ankles connecting to the block that lies between your feet. Again, make sure one foot isn't in front of the other, but that they're straightened out. And we're not leaning into the backrest. We're far enough forward on our chair that we can use our own strength and support as we find a nice tall spine. Let's turn palms up and close our eyes and come into that inner awareness now. Much more support now. We've got the chair to help us. Find a full breath in and a full breath out through the length of the spine. Let the chair support you. It's quite a workout to begin with, lots of movement. So just settle. Just settle in. Good, let's flutter the eyes open. And let's do a little gentle movement of the neck. So I want you to tilt your head ear towards shoulder and let your other arm, your opposite arm, you're tilting towards your left. Let your right arm extend away from the body. So it kind of gives more length. So the weight of the head is significant force, right? So you're tilting then, and then that's weight of the head is offering a stretch through your neck, side neck, and into the shoulder. So pay attention. Breathe. See where you can surrender and let go of more and more weight. In other words, there's natural resistance. We're just a little bit skeptical about what might hurt our neck, so we might not be fully committed. So just wait on it. Wait on it. See where you can release a little more and a little more again. Get your hand back to your lap now, and then very slowly bring your head back to its neutral position. Let's shrug and release that. Shrug and release, and another shrug and release. And then we'll tilt the other way. So head tilts ear toward shoulder, the other side. Using your ear as a guide, you're really feeling that. And then if it interests you to extend that arm away from the body, that's going to add more stretch to it. Both hands on your lap is perfectly fine. It's a way to modify. It would be a way to modify this. Now deepen your breath. Now notice if you start to list that now that you've leaned your head in this direction, do you feel how that your pelvis has also leaned toward the same direction? If so, you'll want to correct that. Even it out. So both sides of the pelvis, both butt cheeks, if you will, feel connected in the same way to the chair seat. You're not listing. Let's deepen the breath. Invite more sensation. Slow. Exhale completely. Let's bring our hand to our lap and bring your head back up. Shrug and release. Shrug and release. Let's do some shoulder rolls. Hands on the lap, one option. Hands alongside the chair's frame is another option. Alongside the chair frame is a little more challenging. Your arms are a little heavier. Pull up, back, and down. Engage your belly so you feel strong about the core strength. Even the engagement of your feet to that block, engaging your ankles, gives you an awareness of engagement all the way up through like the inseams of your legs. That's all part of the core. That's all part of awareness of that midline energy source. Let's change the direction of the shoulder roll. And let's do a back bend. As we lift the arms up, palms are going to face each other. Make mitten hands. So you've got your hands positioned where the fingers are joined together and your thumbs are extended out. I call those the mitten hands. And you pull back a little bit. So upper thoracic back bend. Now let's stabilize the low back. Press your sit bones into the chair. Pull the belly in and press your sit bones into the chair. So then you're supported. Your low back is very stabilized. So you're free to maybe lift your face up toward the ceiling, pull your arms back, stable low back. So we're in the upper thoracic area. Maybe you can add your cervical spine. That's when you tilt your head back. Then you've got your neck involved. You got to check it out. See what your body is up for today. Feet to the earth. Let's bring ourselves back to neutral. Head comes back to neutral. Palms will be together overhead. Inhale now. Exhale, bow into your heart. Inhale back up and exhale down. Let's move our block underneath the chair, and I want you to scoot back into the chair so your pelvis is right. You can get your easy access to the backrest, and your legs are very well supported with the chair seat. This way we can lift both legs at the same time. Lift up, push through the soles of your feet. Arms at the same time. This is like a full body extension. I'm opening up my hands, spreading fingers apart. I'm spreading toes apart. So full extension, everything you can think of to extend and expand, that's what we're doing. And we're going to come and go from that. Come into it and then go out of it. That's what I mean by come and go. So at your own pace. Maybe you connect it with your breath. If that suits you, to inhale up and lift and hold that inhale, and exhale, bring it all down. Maybe you're not particularly connected to the flow of the breath. You're just sort of timing it with what your body seems to need. That's all good. Full extension, full expansion. Let's go forward just a little bit. We're going to kind of stay with that same theme, but we're going to need a little more movement of the legs. So come forward just a bit so we can interact our right side of our body with our left side. So I want you to kick the leg out and tap either your toe or some part of your leg as it extends. You can hold onto the chair with the other hand. That's a great way to do it. I'm just going to check and see if I can do something else. Wonder if I can reach forward with one and the other one up. You kind of have to set that up. Doesn't really flow, kind of does. Switching sides. Just an option to consider. You don't have to participate, but it's an option to consider. Kind of gets, so we have to get a lot of coordination going, let that mind-body connection work for us. Lift and hold. Let's get only one hand extended out, reaching for the foot or for some part of the leg, and maybe your other hand is underneath your thigh. Hold, straight leg out, working within the frame of the chair, within the frame of your hips and shoulders. We're going to bend that knee and hug it into the chest and bring the foot to the floor. Let's get the other side so it's extension. One hand is underneath that thigh. We're straighten it out the leg. This is what it looks like from the side. Catch up with your breath. We're going to hug that knee into the chest and get both feet to the floor, back to our mountain pose now, palms face forward. Feel the alignment of your spine. The top of your head aligns with your tailbone. So the top of the head is in line with the base of the spine. Full breath in and full breath out. Inhale those wide open T arms, and let's see if we can do that neck movement that we did when we were standing up, where we create those right angles with we turn our head toward the front arm. Press the back hand into the back body. I'm too close to the back, so I got to move forward a bit. Open it up, T. Other side. Push the back of the hand into the back body so it'll pull your shoulder back. Find the neutrality of your head as it moves. Let's see if that doesn't warm us up for a nice twist. Let's cross the leg. And we're going to bring the opposite arm behind us. So if you've got your left leg on top, then bring your right arm behind you and push into the back body, just like you were doing. Nope, I'm doing this wrong. Other side. Other arm, same side. So the top leg is the same side that you want to push back. And we're going to bring the top arm over across so that your back of your arm, back of your hand is pressing into the outside of your thigh. This is it. Sorry about that. This is our twist. We pull back with the shoulder. So just getting the leverage with your hands pressing into the body like that. Keep your head neutral. And see how much range of movement. Think of yourself in a car and you're now twisting an ability. You have this range of movement so easily now to be able to look and see what's going on as you change lanes. Let's deepen the breath. Be creative with the use of the chair. So I've given you some ways to set this up, but you might have a way thinking, heck, I've got this chair that I know how to use it. So be creative with the use of your chair. Let's unwind the head and then the shoulders and come back to neutral, and we'll switch sides. Now, same side, arm goes back. I'm kind of getting this now. Press it back, get the hand back there to press in. This arm is going to cross over, pressing into the outside of your thigh, and we twist. I didn't mention it on the first go around. I'm going to mention it now. This is where it's an easy oversight to not balance your pelvis. You might start leaning. I want you to see if you can find the verticality of your spine and that you feel balanced right to left in your pelvis. Keep your head neutral. Breathe through your whole breath cycle. Complete the inhale and complete the exhale. Next exhale, let's unwind the head and then the shoulders, and we'll get our feet back to the floor. Let's open up our feet a little wider and just circle this out. Find the fluid movement of the Sufi grind. Let's change the direction of that circle. Come back to your neutral position and let's shrug and release. Inhale a shrug, hold that inhale, release. Inhale, squeeze and shrug, and release. One more time. Now we're going to start getting ready for our final relaxation and meditation time. So if you have a way that you like to set yourself up, even laying down would be fine, or getting in a recliner, but certainly you want to scoot yourself back in your chair. Take a couple deep breaths to kind of transition yourself there. I'm going to reposition myself. So I have my materials. So find that very comfortable relaxation position. Fully supported. You're not trying to prove anything. You don't have to hold yourself in any particular way. You're going to allow your body to completely relax into this. Close your eyes as soon as you're comfortable with that, so you can come into that inner view, interior viewpoint. And I want you to feel, just take a moment quietly now, and that with your door shut. You know, I always say when you're in your final relaxation time in a big classroom and you close your eyes there, it's like you finally get some privacy. You know, you're in your own room, you're in your own space, and you can kind of check in with yourself. Do that, check in. See how you feel as a result of the movement and the breath awareness and the mindfulness with which you've completed your yoga program. Feel now the feeling of aliveness. It's kind of the way I look at it. We're aware of the pulsation of life force energy in the body, all through the body. It's not the breath, it's different from the breath. It rides alongside the breath often, but it's a felt experience in your whole body. See if you can recognize that. And I want you to find the shape of a smile. Smile. Put your face into the shape of a smile, eyes closed, so that you can offer that. Because isn't there an energy to that? As soon as you have a smile on your face, there's a shift within your body. I want you to introduce that to your inner experience now. Like you're bringing a smile into the energy in your feet and ankles. You're bringing a smile to the energy of your calves and thighs, all through your body. You're bringing that energy of the smile. And let that breath now just simmer down, and the awareness of the prana is just a part of the background now. As you bring yourself into the awareness of yourself, like where do I locate myself in my body? Where is the essence of me? Most of the time it's in the center of the head. Let's go there. Let's be with it there. At the center of our awareness, the very center of our head is where we have located ourself. And we're located in the spaciousness of that. We're not trying to be scientific here and see where we're parked in terms of the brain. We're into the spaciousness at the center of the head, the space of that. Now, see if you can imagine the full moon, that golden moon. Bring that image of the moon right there to that head space. And let that energy of the full moon be a part of this, the Sankalpa. I receive the vibration of peace and bliss. I bathe in the luminescence of the moon, allowing it to infuse every cell of my being with the healing nectar of infinite joy, purity, and divine nurturance. Breathe now as though you're bringing your exhalation down through the spine, down through the soles of your feet. Inhale from the soles of the feet up through the legs and the length of the spine back to the moon at the center of your head. Find that breath through the full body, bathing in the luminance of the moon, allowing it to infuse every cell of your being. Two more breath cycles like that. Take a big cleansing breath through your nose. Exhale it out of your mouth with the sound of ah. And relocate your sense of self to the heart space, right in the center of your chest cavity. Again, we're not being scientific or biological about our body now. It's about the spaciousness within the chest cavity. We're bringing that full moon to the heart space. So imagine the moon and your awareness of yourself located right at the center of your heart, right behind your chest bone. Be with that. And I want you to just use the mantra Shreem. And it's just one word. So just as you breathe, Shreem. And then you repeat Shreem, Shreem. It's one of the seed sounds. It relates to the moon and is connected to Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance. This mantra helps us confirm abundance in our life and the healing nectar of infinite joy. Stay with that Shreem, Shreem, wherever it comes and goes, no particular pattern. At the center of your chest cavity, which is the center of your emotional awareness, the feeling center of the body. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out. Ah. And we're going to locate the moon deeper into the body, more into the pelvis area. Let's go right below the navel. Right below the navel in the center of your body. It's not on the surface. It's inside your body. The space inside your body now houses this image of that beautiful golden full moon and the energy of the moon. Shreem, Shreem. We say the mantra to ourselves, Shreem, as we breathe in and we breathe out. And whenever the mantra arrives, that's perfect. We say it. Breathing in, breathing out, just aware that image, that golden moon located in the center of our body, right below the navel area. This is the center of our physicality, the human form. This is the power source for that. We bring the energy of the full moon to that. Shreem, Shreem. We let that mantra help us confirm abundance in our life and the healing nectar of infinite joy. Let's take a full breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of the mouth like ah. And bring your awareness to the top of the head. On your next exhale, let that exhalation go all the way down to the base of the spine. And the inhale will ascend through the spine to the top of the head. Finding the point-to-point reference now. Breathing through the length of our powerful spine. The Sushumna energy channel rides right alongside the physical spine. We're going to trace our breath up and down from the crown of the head as we descend our exhalation and ascend the inhalation up through the length of the spine to the crown of the head. Softness of the mouth, relax your tongue. And before long, that pattern has been established in the body. Your breath is moving through that energy channel. So we're free now to maybe introduce the smile to the experience. The energy of the smile is following that movement of breath throughout the length of the spine. How powerful it is that we can change our sense of being, our sense of well-being with a smile. Sure, it's momentary, but it's absolutely true that our body responds to that. So let's introduce that to the very essence of our being, the power of that smile. I receive the vibration of peace and bliss. I bathe in the luminescence of the moon, allowing it to infuse every cell of my being with the healing nectar of infinite joy, purity, and divine nurturance. Relax into the support of the chair. And let your breath be as your breath is. Let your body rest. Let your mind rest into spaciousness. You're feeling the open awareness of being here right now. Feel the freedom in your body when you find that open awareness of rest. Rest of the body, resting in the mind. Allowing yourself to be fully supported in this moment. Whole, complete. The feeling of abundance. If there's a part of your body that often holds stress and tension, be sure you have visited that part of your body with loving awareness to release and relax it with tender-hearted compassion. No judgment. Breathe all the way in and breathe all the way out. For these last few minutes, notice the length of your inhale and the length of your exhale. You want a long breath in and an even longer breath out. So just invite that in. Don't work too hard at it. Invite a long inhale and an even longer exhalation. That breath is deep and it's slow. That breath creates calm and ease. Deep and slow. Calm and ease. Let's introduce movement back into the body. Maybe you start to move your hands or your feet, or you come away from the chair's backrest. Somehow introducing movement back into the body. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath in. Exhale it out of your mouth with a sigh. Ah, a long, strong sigh. Do two more just like that. As we bring ourselves out of our relaxation and our meditation time, back to our full awareness here and now. Once you've completed those cleansing breaths, let's bring our hands to the prayer position at the heart center. And we're going to inhale up, lifting those hands up. Exhale, bring yourself back into the bow at the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, let's share that beautiful moon-inspired energy with our communities. Again, palms come together at the Anjali Mudra. We bow to ourselves and we bow to one another. Namaste, my friends. And thank you for joining me.
Namaste, Julie. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.